So I just found out, I don't know if you can see, but there's someone here too, like here, and there's a guy who's right around like back. It's hard to tell in the video, but I can see. Anyway, I came across these cops. I think they were like doing something to each other because they came out, but then they were unvested completely and everything. I don't know. And they were just sitting here and they were like, get out of here. Oh, 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 oh. It was really scary because they knew I was being attacked. They didn't do anything. Nothing. That's it. So, you know, I think it's just so crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But I just wanted to tell you that Agape, a Mosaic Church, Agape Mission Church, Mosaic Church, the Catholic Church of St. Michael's with the Spanish Ecumenical Society, Denise Gladden, all her friends who are teachers retired, and other, Jeanette Coleman, the Cuthberts, the Colberts, the Brightfields, the Grooms, the Hudsons on my our extended family, but they have a thing where they're just like taking care of people, and then all of a sudden you drop even further and worse. So they try to act like they're being protective of them, but like they don't really do anything. Once like the funeral happens, they don't do anything. They don't actually celebrate life at all, and it's they're supposed to be AME Methodist, but they don't actually do anything. They don't mention the person, and they don't get sad. His own daughter died, and he actually never talked about her at all. He never does. He never does. And he calls it sacred, but she wanted to have a fourth child, and he made sure she couldn't do that. He punked her out of that, and then she fell into foreclosure. And he was supposed to be able to take care of that and save it. Instead, he saved the church with the money he got from her when she died, a life insurance policy. It's very sad. They tried to punk me out of my inheritance, my family, and a bunch of religious groups. Basically the Abrahamic lineage. They tried to do that along with cops and stuff like that, and the Hispanics in my old neighborhood, and the Ethiopians, of course, or Sudanese or whatever they are, and some Euro trash group. And they were just like, we want your house, get out of our house. And the Israeli students across the street were yelling, you're a Muslim, you're a Muslim. I was like, I'm not a Muslim. And ever since, it was like they were just, being extremely racist. And they were from the Israeli elementary school in the neighborhood. So it was crazy. I'm just trying to, the kids were out and the cops were with them and they were yelling. So that's what happened. And it's not like what happens when you do something wrong. It's what happens when people just don't like you. You have to remember, you try not to burn too many bridges, but who's going to keep bridges like these going? Everybody's like, I'll just keep silent. I'm not doing this. But everybody's got like a comment on something about burning bridges now. Everybody's got a running comment about sticking it to someone who's wearing all blonde hair. And everybody, it's all over the place. Everybody has something. SNL has something, where she's like, I'm a whore, I'm this way, and all that good stuff. But then she turns out to be like dirty and whatever. So they were trying to make the point from like the person who wanted to marry me. He just thought it was a big joke because I had too many flaws and stuff. But that's what I'm saying. They're just super mean. And so, if it's happening on SNL, I'm not saying it's pertaining to me or that's who I'm supposed to be, but that's what it is. My life has been hijacked by a bunch of comedians. And this is how they get their material. This is how they make their living. And everybody's like, yeah, I'm just keeping it in the positive. I'm like, You don't have a dick up your vagina that's electronic, and you can't. Yeah, I mean, it's like either it's the smallest dick, it's a finger, but then you feel like I feel like people are punching me, and this is the craziest thing. I don't know what it is. So, I mean, and it's obviously someone who is, from what I can understand, doesn't know anything about sex. So I'm going to make sure that you understand that the little I know about sex, this is crazy. I mean, you don't, you're not a rabbit. So again, it's just the kind of stuff that, someone's punching me real fast, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of, and it's not sex, but they're punching me, trying to make it seem like this is a thrusting motion, and I'm like, you have to stop. And these people are just horrible, but they're in a predominantly Chinese or Asian, black, and white neighborhood, So the Hispanics come here, they work as well and live, and this is the way it is. So it's only getting like worse because people are just so completely off the chain. So I'm trying to get back out on the road, but it's hard. Now it's like 4:19 on a Saturday, and I've been up all night because as soon as I try to sleep, I get bugged all over again. So there's nothing I can do with it. I can't. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but you have to deal with it because you either ignore it or you don't ignore it. And as far as I'm concerned, this is such awful sex. I can't imagine anyone wanting to take credit for it, which is why they are covert and remote. Because no one would want to fuck them anyway. And usually it turns out to be a bunch of teenage girls with hang-ups from, like, the Academy of the Holy Names I went to. Or hopefully not that, like, hopefully not from my school that's not too far from here. But people are people. You never know what's going to happen. Allegedly, all of this is happening. Therefore, I hope that, none of these people is involved. But it makes sense to kind of go with the flow and know that these were my coworkers at the ALUS courts, working in the hosting branch, and that really, really, really sucks. So, anyway, I hate it. I hate it a lot. But they had to know what was going on in that building. You don't get DOD clearances like this to tap ass at work or kiss somebody's pussy unless somebody else knows at work. Anyway, I hate this. I hope these people go away. Bye. And no matter what anybody says, I didn't want this.